Hello, my name is Julia. I'm 26 years old and I live in the United States. And I'm making this video, and I'm probably going to continue making videos, actually to start a pregnancy and postpartum vlog, and also about families and kids and basically that whole spectrum. I am, like I said, I'm 26 years old. I have a 2-year-old son already. His name is Miles, and he's pretty amazing. He's like probably the most perfect thing I could ever imagine a child to be. He's smart, he's super energetic, the kid doesn't walk, he just runs everywhere. He's really cute, and he's really always been a very good baby and a good toddler. He's really, really good, and I've been very lucky and blessed to have a very easy child. And I know that. My pregnancy with him was actually probably the easiest pregnancy. Most people told me I was so lucky because I never had morning sickness. I never had any symptoms with him. I never had any negative side effects really of pregnancy with him. My first labor and all of that, it was 5 hours, you know, it wasn't that big a deal. I went in at 3 in the morning, and by 9:40 I had a baby. It was no issues with an epidural. He was a little jaundiced afterwards, but everything went perfect and smooth with him, so I'm really grateful for that. And a lot of people tell me I'm really lucky to not have had morning sickness and not had all the negative side effects with pregnancy. He was a great pregnancy, and I actually didn't appreciate it or know what it was actually until now. I just found out I'm pregnant again. We're on to our second child, and we've actually been trying for about 1.5 years now to have another child, because my husband and I always said, my husband's name is Dave, and we always said we wanted our son to be able to have a playmate and a sibling and somebody he could relate to and always be able to connect with, and we both thought it was very important. We're both the middle child of 3 siblings. We both have older brothers and we both have younger sisters, and you know, we both think it's really important to have a close connection with your siblings. Financially, it's a little crazy, but as far as family and well-being and being happy and happiness, in the long run, having another child to be friends with our first child, hopefully, knock on wood, hopefully that'll work out in our favor, and they'll always be friends, and they'll always have a best friend to run to and a shoulder to cry on, and that's something that's really important to me and to us. We had difficulty getting pregnant with him. A lot of it actually has to do with me, so I don't know if many other women that are probably going to watch this, if any, have issues themselves. We did not conceive easily, and it actually was 3 years of me off of birth control and anything to get pregnant with my first son. It took 3 years, and then we were trying for 1.5 years to have another one, and we finally got the good news that it's happening, and I couldn't be more excited because I was expecting it to take a lot longer. As far as a little history on why it is challenging for us, I'm pretty sure it's me and my hormone levels. My hormone levels have never been up to par. This is probably TMI for a lot of people, but maybe it'll help somebody, or maybe somebody can relate to it. I'm not sure. But my hormone levels have never been on par. When I started getting my period, and even all the way up until I had my first child, I would sometimes get my period 2 or 3 times a month, and that was ridiculous, and I hated it, and I never knew when to expect my period. I never knew when I was ovulating. I could never count on a calendar when I'd get my period. Like all of my other friends and my other girlfriends, they'd know, and I never knew. It was always a surprise. Um, along with that, I did have pretty serious mood swings and emotional issues to go along with the hormonal imbalance. And actually, I have to thank my son because he was a big part in balancing my hormone levels. After I had him, it went from having it 2 or 3 times a month to actually having it once, you know, a month and a week, or a month and 2 weeks, and I'd finally get it. So it actually extended my time, and I could actually, it made up for it a little bit, I think. And now I don't have to worry about it, so yay! Plus of pregnancy is not having to deal with tampons or pads. I'll enjoy it for the 8 months I have left. So, anyways, all of that being said, it was really hard to conceive. I still, even with being a little bit more regular, I didn't know when I was ovulating, so I could never tell, and my hormone levels weren't enough that I could recognize that I was ovulating. So for me, it was really cool to actually find out I was pregnant. And I found out I was pregnant at 4:30 in the morning on the 27th of June. This was my first test. And it's not, you know, it took 2 or 3 minutes to show up, but it didn't right away. And I put it down on the floor. You know, I was on the toilet and I put it down on the floor. I'm like, nah, I'm not pregnant. I didn't think I was. I really wanted to be, but I had given up on my hopes being up because I didn't want to be let down again. So I put it on the floor, took care of myself. I picked it up to just put the cap on it to throw it away, and I saw the line, and I was like, what? No. No. So then I just stared at it for like a minute. I was just staring at it. I'm like, please. And it was getting darker and darker, and I'm like, 4:30 in the morning. My husband is sleeping in the bed. I can't just go out there and tell him he's got work the next day. I think he did. Or he was doing something. No, he didn't. But I didn't want to wake him up. Good wife. Didn't want to wake him up. I was so excited though. I went on Pinterest and I'm like looking through announcement stuffs. And I'm like, oh, I could do this. I could do this. And I started pinning stuff. Dumb move, because like 3 of my friends were like, saw all these birth things on your Pinterest. Is there something you should tell us? Anyways, I took the first test, finally, at 9 o'clock when I got closer to him waking up, which he still hadn't woken up, lucky thing. I took my second one, and that is a definite yes, I am pregnant. So I got my pregnancy test that said positive, yay, you are. And I wasn't sure how I was going to tell him. I was looking online for all sorts of different ways, and I wanted to videotape it, and I wanted to do all this stuff, but it just kind of got in the heat of the moment, and I said, you know what, my son, my 2-year-old, had woken up. I gave him the test. I told him, don't take the cap off, bring it to daddy, and I said, I'd give you a lollipop if you bring it to daddy. Okay. He wanted a pop. So he took the test to Dave, my husband, and my husband just, he was still in bed, and he looked at me, he's like, oh no, you know, oh no. And it's like, oh yes, we are. And then of course we told my parents. I FaceTimed my mom, and I had put a little roll in the oven, and I took a FaceTime video of it, and I said, Dave made me something, you know. Dave made me something. What did he make you? And I flipped the camera around so she could see the oven open with the bun in it. It took her a second, but once she got it, she was all excited, and my dad was super excited, and they were very happy. And then of course we told his family, and it was a really good announcement. Everybody loved it, and it was great news. So I went to the doctor actually. I found out they thought I was 7 weeks as of last week. They thought I was 7 weeks along. But when I got the ultrasound done, which is right here, there's the little baby. It's a blob. My sister has dubbed it the baby bean. Baby bean is actually only 5 weeks and 5 days in that ultrasound. So I'm actually 6 weeks now. It's very exciting. I kind of wish I was further along, but I'm not. I want to know what sex it is already. I need to know the gender. I need a name. All sorts of fun stuff to think about. But I wanted to take this video and get into also, you know, aversions and symptoms. A lot of people look up online thinking they're pregnant or worried or freaking out, or maybe they're trying to have babies and they don't know what the symptoms are, or, you know, all of these things. And I can tell you with me, my first symptom, and I didn't even know I was pregnant yet, was a panic attack. I have a weird pregnancy symptom. I don't know if other people have it. It might just be a weird thing for me, but I've never had a panic attack before in my life. I was pretty much anxiety free. I had emotional issues, but anxiety and panic I never really experienced. And then when I was 6 months pregnant with my first son, oh my god, I had my first panic attack, and I thought I was having a heart attack, and I thought I was going to lose the baby. I was freaking out. I wanted to go to the hospital so bad. I wanted to run, but I also felt like I was going to pass out. I couldn't focus. I couldn't think. I was shaking. I was freezing cold, but I was also sweating. Panic attacks are no joke, and they're not fun, and they're very scary. And to be pregnant on top of it makes it very, very scary, because it's not your own life that you're worried about anymore. So I had my first panic attack with my first pregnancy, and I had another one, big one, around 8 months with him as well. Now, after I had him, I had anxiety and some depression every once in a while, but I never had a panic attack again. And then all of a sudden, out of the blue, I had one at like 2 in the morning. I woke up mid-panic attack. I don't even remember if I had a dream or anything. It was just like mid-panic attack, freaking out, shaking. My husband was playing video games in the other room, so I came to him and I just told him I'm having a panic attack. I don't even know why I told him. I just go to him just to let him know. I guess that's what's happening, in case something happens. But I went to him, and then I went in the living room and I laid down and I was shaking, and I was, you know, getting over it. But I had a panic attack, and I haven't had one since I was pregnant. And that right there is a flag for me, and I didn't even realize it. Over that course of that week, I thought I might have blood clots. All these thoughts went through my mind, and all this anxiety and depression and worry came back in my system, because it was like, why am I having panic attacks again? I was trying to figure out the triggers, which usually there never are, but I was trying to figure it out. Turns out my trigger is pregnancy. When I'm pregnant, I get panic attacks, and I didn't even know that was a thing. You know, people say morning sickness and all these other symptoms, and for me, it's panic, and nothing triggers it. I'm happy. I'm eating well. You know, I walk the dogs. I exercise. I have a 2-year-old to chase. Life is good, but I get panic attacks. It's very strange. So that was my first symptom, and I didn't know it yet, but it was. My next symptom was exhaustion, pure exhaustion, just being tired all the time. Like, my husband would go to work. I'm a stay-at-home mom, and I'm very lucky to be. I wasn't. I used to work since he was 3 months old until about April of this year. I worked full-time. Well, not full-time, but almost full-time. 30 hours a week, I think. Or 28. It was 28 hours a week, I think. Anyways, I'm very grateful to be a stay-at-home mom, but to go to 1 and 2 o'clock to about the point that he needs to take a nap, I was dead. I started taking naps again with him because I just couldn't go through. You know, I couldn't go through the day. I was exhausted. I couldn't keep my eyes open, even just trying to watch my TV shows that I watch. And I couldn't do it. So that was another symptom. Exhaustion. Being just ridiculously tired all the time. And being weak. Feeling weak. Kind of like you're getting the flu. Like you feel weak and your muscles kind of ache and just something's not right. That's what it feels like. You kind of feel like you're getting the flu. Another thing I started picking up on was my nose. With Miles, I never had any aversions. I never had morning sickness. I never had a heightened sense of smell. Everything smelled normal to me when I was pregnant with him. I didn't really have any symptoms. So now I started like having aversions to the garbage can. If it was full or if it had baby diapers in it or something gross, oh my gosh, I needed to get it outside because I couldn't handle it. And it wasn't like I was gonna puke, it was just like, oh, like the smell just got to me. I didn't like it. It's not that it made me sick, it just, I didn't like it. So that was another thing. The next thing, which was my first sign in my first pregnancy, was my boobs got huge. Not complaining about that one. I'd keep it if I could, but I know it won't stay. It didn't stay the first time at least. My husband would keep them too. But yeah, no, they definitely enlarge and they hurt so bad. Like, God forbid you brush up against a like a wall or a door. You might as well just shot yourself in the boob. It hurts so bad. Ridiculously bad. And they're still sore and tender and things are changing in them and there's some lumps. It's like, oh, but you know, it's just, you're gearing up for another round, I guess. Another sign that you're pregnant would be, and for me this happens, it's happened in both pregnancies, along with the enlargement of your breasts, you also get large blue veins, like big blue veins in your boobs. I could probably even show you, I'm not sure. Yeah, like there, you can see them, and up here, there's some veins, big veins running down. Acne, of course, hormonal changes, you get acne. Yeah, I got some acne. But anyways, the big blue veins, it's like a common sign of pregnancy because with the increased blood flow and the increased production of everything going on, you need bigger veins there to help get things moving. I have actually had some morning sickness with this one around. It's not been unbearable. I have never puked, but I do in the morning. Like I'll wake up or two around 2 o'clock or 3 o'clock or 4 o'clock and I'll kind of feel like, it's almost like seasick. Like, stop rocking the boat, dang it, I'm on land, why am I rocking? Like, it's that kind of a sickness. You just sort of feel like in the pit of your stomach, it's not right, you're not settled. It's like a flu sick, kinda. You just feel like you need a puke. And it's not pleasant, but it's not unbearable for me, so I'm grateful, and I'm grateful that I haven't puked, and I'm grateful I can keep my food down, and I don't have any food aversions, so that's good. I do, actually right now, I am super, like, I have to eat junk food. I want to eat junk food all day, every day. I want to eat sweets, chocolate, cookies, ice cream. Oh my gosh, a McFlurry, Wendy's Frosty, oh, French fries dipped in the Frosty. All of that stuff, I want it all. But I'm trying to refrain because, especially with my first pregnancy, I took the glucose test and I had to do the second glucose test because the first one came back saying not good things. And the second one I actually passed, I was fine. But I don't want to do that again with this one, so hopefully I can prevent that. I've been eating a lot of watermelon to try and make up for that. Watermelon, that's very sweet, it's good, it's in season right now for me, so it's kind of helped. I've also been, like my sister-in-law who just found out she's pregnant too, so congratulations to her, Allie. She is also, I think she said she was around 3 or 4 weeks right now. She just found out 3 or 4 weeks along. But one of hers, as well as my attractions, is we really want like spicy food or Mexican food. Oh my god, enchiladas. I went to Chipotle. Oh, so good. Chipotle. Oh, a bowl. Oh, a chicken bowl with the beans and the salsa and the corn and the onions and the lettuce and the guacamole. Oh, so good. And the chips. You gotta have the chips with the salsa to dip. With the little lime. Oh, it's so good. So that's another one. Super attracted to it. And I think that's about it as of right now as far as updates. I'm gonna keep doing this vlog. This video is running really long, so I'm sorry to everybody out there who sat here actually through 20 minutes. Thank you for hanging out with me for 20 minutes. Sorry if I wasted your time. I hope I didn't. But I have my first child. If you have any questions, or if there's anything anybody needs help with, I'm more than welcome to answer it or do another vlog to answer questions, or even to just talk about myself. More than happy to do that too. Eventually I guess you guys will get to know me a little better through more videos, so I will be posting more. And this is my first video, so sorry if it sucked, or sorry if it's too long, or sorry if I rambled. Hopefully there won't be any, I don't like any negative vibes or negative people, so save those comments to yourself if there are any. But I do appreciate positive comments too, so if you have any advice, let me know. I'm open to criticism, and I will be posting probably another video soon. I've got a couple things planned in the near future, so perhaps I will post while I am doing those fun activities. Otherwise, my next doctor's appointment isn't until September 3rd, which is a really far way away. So September 3rd will be my next appointment. I don't know if they're going to do an ultrasound, but if they do, I will definitely share with you guys. And I will show you a quick view of my belly. That's my belly. I'm only 6 weeks along. I've been eating a lot though, so it might be pudge. But that's my little baby pudge. That's the baby being in there. Okay guys, have a good night. Thanks for sticking around with me for 22 minutes. Bye!